All right, One Pride Nation. 48 hours since the Christmas Day loss to the Minnesota Vikings. So it's time to analyze the offense. And on rewatch and a little bit more deep diving, I really had a problem with a lot of the play calling. So let's talk about it. First, the running game. We went back to it heavily. We had Jahmyr Gibbs with 17 carries for 41 yards, averaging 2.4 yards a carry, and David Montgomery with 10 carries for 25 yards, averaging 2.5 yards a carry. But the runs were very straightforward, and I think that was part of the problem. We lack creativity in the run game, especially with our suspect offensive line. We had Kingsley Aguakin once again in at center in place of Graham Glasgow, and then Taylor Decker, day of, was ruled out with an illness. So we had Dan Skipper as our left tackle. And instead of doing things to help this offensive line, we stuck with the same kind of game plan we always do, and it showed. The Minnesota Vikings were ready for that. They blitzed 56% of the time. They knew the offensive line was a weakness, and they worked to take advantage of it. Now, for his part, Jared Goff was 18 for 29 for 197 yards. But here's where it gets kind of interesting. When they didn't blitz him, Goff was 12 for 13 for 123 yards and a touchdown. When they did blitz, he was 6 for 16 for 74 yards and 2 interceptions. His first 2 interceptions of the year against the blitz. But one of those interceptions was definitely on Goff, and the second one was kind of on Goff in how the play developed. He was a little off this week. He was throwing ahead of St. Brown multiple times. If that throw to St. Brown was on his back hip where it normally is, that was an easy completion. Out in front of him, it was an interception. And the reason I say that they were partially on Goff is, yes, that was poor ball placement. The deep one to Tisla, that ball needed to come out sooner if that was his target. But we knew going in that this team was going to blitz a lot. And the route design didn't do anything to help Goff get that ball out quick and short. It was quite the opposite. It seemed like we wanted to go a little bit longer. And it didn't work. Goff took a lot of hits. He fumbled the ball once by getting hit. 2 of those fumbles were definitely on Aguakin, but he's a brand new center. So this is why I think that one of the biggest needs of the Lions is a new offensive mind in that locker room. But I want to know your thoughts, Lions fans. What did you see from that 6 turnover game, and what do you think needs to change as we move forward into the offseason? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below.